Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Express. Well, this is a new week and a new episode on what is becoming everyone's favorite talk show. You'll agree with me that it is encouraging, exciting, profound, real, energizing, sensible, and sensitive. This is what Express is all about, and much more. So, without any further delay, please help me welcome back to the stage the beautiful, expressive, talented, and savvy director of Express. She's called Carolyn. Carolyn, take it away.
Hi, Carmen Hope
Hi.
Thomas. Welcome to the show. I've been waiting for this. Been longing to come back to interview you, to have a talk about, especially this part of the episode where you're going to explain, after your brain tumor. And for those who didn't get a chance to watch this episode, just go back, listen to the first part, then you'll be able to connect with what Carmen is saying. So go ahead, Carmen, and just tell us now what you discovered, after you had the brain tumor and with hair products.
Well, after I had the brain tumor, the tumor was removed successfully.
Mm-hmm.
And as I mentioned in the last episode, or the first part of this episode, I was sensitive to everything. Glade plugins, spray, any kind of spray to make the house freshen, or any fabric softeners, or just anything. Everything in my house was unscented because I couldn't stand the smell. My husband's cologne in the trash. Any deodorant that had a fragrance in the trash. And I just realized that I obviously had a sensitivity now that I had the brain tumor to these things. As I talked to other women who had it, they too expressed that they had sensitivities. Some people ignored their sensitivities and they allowed themselves to be exposed, and they just kind of medicated the headache, or they medicated their reaction to it. I didn't do that because I was doing everything in my power. And I think a lot of people need to understand when their body is telling them that something is not good, when their body is reacting to these things, don't ignore the body and medicate it into submission.
Mm-hmm.
You need to realize that your
That's
body
good.
is telling you these things are not good, and you need to get them out of your home.
Yeah.
And that's what we did. It took me a while after I cut all my hair off to recognize that I couldn't go back to business as usual. I couldn't relax my hair anymore. I could not even shampoo my hair with certain shampoos. I constantly looked for natural body washes that were natural. I used to use Castile soap, or just anything just as plain as possible to not have the reactions that I was having to the stuff that's out there. And I realized there was very little on the market that worked for me, especially for black hair, that was allowing my hair or my skin to be moisturized without all the heaviness. And so I have a girlfriend who's a chemist, and she had her own little health challenges. And I remembered she formulated something for herself. I remember her doing that and telling me that that's what she did. So I put a call into her and I explained to her my challenges. She knew that what I had been through. And I told her, I was like, I can't use everything. Everything's giving me a headache. Everything's giving me issues. I can't sleep. Oh, I used to lay down. I'll never forget this. I used to lay down on my bed, and as soon as my head hit the pillow and I could smell the fabric softener, I would just get right up because I knew I wasn't going to sleep.
Wow.
So I used to cover my area of the bed with towels to block out the scent of.
And this is after surgery.
This was after surgery.
Wow.
So when I told my friend what I was doing, she said, let me mix up something for you. You come by and you pick it up from me. So I went by her laboratory, and she had made a shampoo and a conditioner that I tried. I loved it. It was so natural. And I remember she said to me, listen, it's food grade. Food grade meaning you could eat it. It won't necessarily taste good, but it won't kill you. Mm-hmm. And so I knew that that was natural. If I could eat this, then it's natural. And I used that, and my hair began to grow. And I never forget, I didn't have the issues I had. I had my husband using it because I couldn't stand the smell of shampoo that he was using. He would get in the bed after shampoo, and I couldn't stand the smell of him. It was just crazy. And I know I was driving him nuts, but it was driving me nuts.
Mm.
And so I remember saying to her one time, I said, girl, you need to bottle this. You need to sell it. And she says, well, you know, it's something she did for a living. And so when you do something for a living, it's one thing. When you do it for yourself, it becomes a business. And so that was not what she was interested in at the time. So I convinced her. I said, well, I'll buy it from you and let me do the business. And she said, okay. And that's how Zipporah was born. Since then, we tweaked the formulation, but it's a shampoo, conditioner, a leave-in conditioner, a hair butter, and a growth oil.
So Zipporah, explain to the audience, what is Zipporah?
Zipporah Hair and Skincare. We're a Jamaican company. Our offices are in Kingston, Jamaica. She formulated for us, but we bottle and mix in Jamaica.
Mm-hmm.
And I've had so many cancer survivors thank me. I've had so many women who've had what I've had thank me. I've had women with fibromyalgia thank me. I've had women with, I mean, you name it. They love the product because they don't react to it. So you have to understand, when you have these issues, you take medication to survive the issue, but it also suppresses your reaction to these synthetic things. Mm-hmm. Well, they don't want to take the medication at all, but they need the reaction to those things to stop. So there's a catch-22. I gotta wash my hair, I gotta shower, but I gotta take this medicine in order to do that. And so what was starting to happen was people were not having the reactions anymore because we were giving them something so natural. So we eventually formulated a skincare after the hair care. And then the next thing we did was a men's line. So we have a full men's line. And then the next thing for us is we're doing a body care line. So we have a body wash made with sea moss. I'm so excited about it. Mm. And a body cream with sea moss. And then we have another skincare line coming out that helps women and men with eczema.
Oh,
yes.
Should be good. So from all that you've been through and all that you've observed and all that, because, you know, like I said, we get stories not just for ourselves, our stories are not just for ourselves. It's for other people too. And obviously, you have your story and you've made your investigations and you realize what you were going through, what was causing you to feel the way you felt. And then that motivated you to start a skincare beauty line. Now, what would you say, thinking about fibroids, thinking about the tumor, and from your research, mm-hmm. what did you discover about Black women?
Well, one of the things that really motivated us to do this was the research that we found. Mm-hmm. The first thing that I found was a study done in 2018 from the Silent Spring Institute. Remember, in your last episode, or the first part of this episode, I told you I was sitting in the hospital in this room full of women. Mm-hmm. Well, there were men there, but mostly women. I would say 90% of the people in the room were women. And of that 90%, more than half of them were Black women. And mostly, not 100% of us, but most of us had the brain tumor or some form of a tumor. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so what they did at UAB was they put us all in this room to get our MRI or our CAT scan done. And so, you know, you start to see people more than one time. You know, you get chatting with them and, you know, hey, how are you? Where are you? What part of Alabama you live? Oh, I live in so and so. And so you start to get a little bit of a rapport. And that's when I started to discover that we kind of all had the same thing, not exact same thing, but, certain variations of the same thing. And I told my husband, I said, there's a reason why we're mostly Black. What is that about? And I know people are quick to say, well, we, have poor health care. We don't take care of ourselves or whatever. And I wasn't buying that. But in this study that I found in 2018, it was from the Silent Spring Institute. I think it was April 2018. They were able to finally and definitively link the challenges that most women of color have with fibroid tumors, and I've had 17, remember that, to our hair care products.
Wow.
They were able to definitively link our hair care products to our medical challenges. What was the link? They discovered that women of color, Black women, were the most toxic people group in the entire world. What distinguishes us from everybody else? Our hair care products. Nobody uses our hair care products. Only we use our hair. Think about it. What other people group in the world uses Cream of Nature No Lie Relaxer? Or just for me? Nobody uses it. Just us. We're the only ones that use it. And so they were able to link it with the high occurrences of fibroid tumors in Black women, and the brain tumors in Black women, and the ovarian cysts in Black women. All of it was linked to our hair care and how those products disrupt our endocrine system. Remember, I'm on the whole floor in UAB of the endocrinology department because my endocrine system was damaged. And it was from the fact that I've been getting my hair creamed since I was 8 years old.
Until about
I had my first son. I quit right before my second son because I began to put two and two together that something was up. And I just started to just do the research and just put it together. And I started to say, wait a minute. Why isn't anybody talking about this? Well, now there are 3 class action lawsuits going on. I mean, that's happening now, but at that time, those things had not happened. And, the lawsuits are suing the big brands that market Black hair care products to Black women. And I really believe there's going to be a win for the women because there's too many studies now that are linking this information to our challenges as women of color.
Okay. Wow. So this happened all in United States, yes?
This happened all in the United States. I believe that my last visit to my doctor before my endocrinology department at UAB discharged me. They discharged me in 2018, right before my husband, who had just been fed up, moved us all to Jamaica. So that's when we moved.
So you're living in Jamaica now? Wow.
I live in Kingston, Jamaica right now.
Wow. How is that experience?
I like it. It took me a while to get used to the fact that nothing happens as fast as I want it, but it's been a really good experience for my kids. I think my kids are better children for it. And I think that, I'm healthier for it. I'm not, I eat a very diverse plant-based diet. And that's just because it's all around me. It's easy to just go outside and get my mangoes, get my avocado, get my OTT apple, or my limes. I've got a breadfruit tree, a guava tree, a ackee tree. It's just all right there.
Wow.
And so I eat a whole lot more fruits and a whole lot more vegetables. And it's shown in my life, in my diet, how all of it's connected. Yes.
Yes, yes, I can attest to that as well for myself. Well, has been a great conversation talking with you here. So, in a sentence or two, what would you like the audience to take away from what in a nutshell, from what you've said to us today, in a nutshell?
In a nutshell, I do believe that, you know, there's some that may believe this or not, but I believe it because I'm a woman of faith. I believe that the enemy has gotten creative in his efforts to cause us to kill ourselves. We kill ourselves with our diet. We kill ourselves by smoking. We kill ourselves by drinking. We slowly kill ourselves in those regards. But we're also killing ourselves by trying to live up to a European standard of beauty that we'll never attain. We bleach our skin. We bleach the melanin out of our skin and out of our hair. We fry it out of our hair by trying to straighten our hair. We bleach it out of our skin by trying to be lighter than we are. And we do all of these things because we're trying to attain a European standard of beauty. When God, as far as I'm concerned, did not make mistakes in the creation of women of color. He didn't mean for us to be light and we ended up being dark. He didn't mean any of that. If anything, we need to reassess our standards of beauty to understand that melanin is life-saving. And it's funny, while we're trying to bleach it out of our skin, there are other people trying to buy it. You can buy melanin. You could buy melanin that occurs in us naturally. And I think that we need to be more mindful that individuals who don't look like us and don't care for us are making and manufacturing products for us with the lowest standard of regulation, with the cheapest ingredients they could find, ingredients that are causing healthcare challenges and also killing us. They're in charge of our products. And I said to my husband, I would like to make something that is safe, that is unapologetically Black. It's funny, I was talking to a group of hairstylists that were in school.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, everything that's out there is created for a European hair type on down to the 4C hair type, which is most Black women. We formulated our product for the 4C hair type. And if you got the 1A hair type, then you can use the product and it's safe for you. We did it in the reverse, and we did it in the reverse on purpose. We purposefully formulated our products for women of color to help women of color manage their tangles, manage their curls, manage their kink and their coil, and not burn their coil out of their head or fry it out or bleach it out or cream it out or whatever you want to say. We try to help women to manage their hair without trying to change it, but just condition it, moisturize it, and give it what it needs to be nourished. And you'll love your hair then.
Mm-hmm. Good, great. So the products is in Jamaica and in the United States as well?
We have products, of course, in Jamaica at all the major pharmacies, from Fontana to Monarch, Supermed, and Great House RX and Ultrias.
Mm-hmm.
We also have the products on Amazon in the United States. So if you go to our website, on the very first page, if you click any of the products and decide to purchase, it's going to take you straight to the Amazon page to purchase.
What is your website?
Zipporah Hairandskin.com. Zipporah Hairandskin.com.
Okay.
That's ZIPPORAH hairandskin.com. Our products are in the United Kingdom. We have Sacred Heart Pharmaceuticals that are a distribution company, and they have bought our products. They buy our products direct from Jamaica and they market them in the United Kingdom. We are also on Amazon Canada and soon Amazon Mexico in 2023. We just have to get some paperwork together for Amazon Mexico. And then we got our first African country that bought the products and began to market them in Zimbabwe. The name of the company in Zimbabwe that it's oh gosh, I just forgot the name of the company, but it's a pharmaceutical importer. If you go to our website, you'll see that Zipporah is being is being distributed in Zimbabwe. And so their information is there as well.
Okay. Well, from your pain, they say pain goes synonymous with new birth.
Yes.
That's what I think I heard once, and it's true. And the new birth is not just for you, but for others. So thank you for coming again. Thank you for taking the time out from your busy schedule and coming to share with us your story and what, because of your story, you were able to birth these products. Isn't that something? Always.
I would have never believed it. If someone told me 20 years ago I would own a hair and skincare company, I would say, not me.
But that's what it is. It's how you deal with the problem that how you deal with the challenges as you're going through the crucible, I always say, because there's always a lesson there. There's always a lesson. If we could just go through it. It's hard when we're going through it, but thank God you went through it and you were able to look back and question why. And now there is a conclusion. And thank God I've been able to take you here on the talk show here so that you can tell us your story again and tell us the conclusion. And it's not yet finished. I know there's going to be so much. And you also have written a book. You're an author.
Yes, I wrote a book that kind of outlined a little of what happened to me with the brain tumor.
Mm-hmm.
But I took it another spin because I tell people all the time, my husband is responsible for my life, for my health, for my sight. Just the way he managed my care during that time.
Mm-hmm.
And so I talk about marriage from that perspective of how individuals marry people for different reasons, but they don't consider the things that happened to me as a part of their journey. And I help women and men to understand that when we marry someone, we need to think about the worst day and who would we want to be our advocate on the worst day.
Worst day, yes.
My husband was my advocate, and I've done a lot of speaking. This was before I got sick, actually. Before the brain tumor, I had written the book, Why Marry a Man You Don't Need. And I started talking and researching about the book before, like I said, before this. And then once I got sick and I had the episode, I wrote in it how my husband was my biggest advocate for my health, how he saved my life by his insistence that the doctors consider another mode of care for me instead of giving me some cookie cutter, response to the fact that I did not have all the doctors available for me. And because of that, it saved my life. And I talk about that in the book, Why Marry a Man You Don't Need. I tell people, you consider marrying men as a part of, when a woman says, well, I don't need a man to take care of me. Well, you shouldn't marry a man for that. Or they say, well, I don't need a man because I make enough money. That should not be your motivating factor of why you're getting married or why you're not getting married. We need to understand that marriage is to get us to the kingdom. That was the purpose of it. We need each other to get to the kingdom. And that's, to me, why God likened the church and Christ to a marriage. That's why he says Christ is the husband and the bride is the church. That intimate relationship is what we need to get. Can you imagine if the church said, well, we don't need Christ to get to heaven, we'll get there? We all know that that's not going to happen. You need him to get there. Mm-hmm. And in the same way, marriage, I feel, is the exact same way. Otherwise, he would not have used that example to help us to get a better understanding of the relationship between Christ and the church. And so I tell women all the time that it is crucial that we understand that marriage is designed to get you to heaven. And if you think about it in that regard, you will think twice about the men you audition for that position, because there is no way some of these guys that you bring in and out of here, they will not be able to facilitate your walk with God. Mm-hmm. No way. And so I think that that's one of the things that's missing when it comes to how we look at relationships and how we look at marriage in particular.
Great way to end this talk. Great way to end this talk. This was awesome.
I appreciate you. Don't forget that you can always pick up my book at Amazon.com.
Yes.
It's on Barnes & Noble, Books A Million. It's everywhere. And my website is Carmen Hope Thomas, CarmenHopeThomas.com for the book.
Okay.
And for the hair care products, it's Zipporah Hair and Skin, Zipporah Hair and Skin.com.
Yes. We're going to have it all on the, so people will see and be able to come back and watch and, that sort of thing. All right. I always try to leave a thought as I end the episode. And this thought is from this person called Masato, Masato. And he says, if you give up, he said, never give up. If you give up, it's over. But if you don't give up, the day will come when you'll be glad you didn't give up. Don't you love that thought?
I love it.
Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for being here. And my audience, we love you. Thank you. Keep on watching. Keep on watching. Bye-bye.